Hi everybody, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm with the McDaniel Callahan real estate team with J. Rockcliffe Realtors. I'm joined today by James Callejas with IPX Exchange. They mainly focus on 1031 exchanges, but in the last episode we covered 1031s and kind of the different ramifications, the pluses and the minuses, mainly all pluses. Today we have a new product in the last 2 years, right?
Yeah,
Last 2 years we have something called a structured sale. Now, this is something that I hadn't heard of before either. This is something that I really like, and I'm sure you're going to have the same reaction. So, tell me everything about a structured sale.
Well, Greg, it's relatively new to the industry, and I talk to so many different real estate professionals, and nobody knows what it is. Well, basically, it's a different strategy that you can use an exit strategy that you can use when selling real estate. Now, the biggest problem with selling real estate is I don't want to pay tax.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay tax. I've been in here for a long time. Everybody tells me that the biggest investment I'm ever going to make is real estate. Why do I want to give up any of that? And unfortunately, selling certain parts or different types of real estate, you're going to have to pay tax. Now, a structured sale is a vehicle where you don't touch the money at the close of escrow.
So it stays in an escrow account?
Doesn't stay in an escrow account. What we need to understand is that when you touch money, it's taxable. When you don't touch money, it's not taxable. So a structured sale is similar to an installment sale.
Okay.
An installment sale is, I don't have all the money right now, but I'm going to pay you over a series of installments. And the only time that you would get taxed when you receive money is when I start paying you money. So over a period of time, I'm going to maybe give you certain interest payments and then one big balloon payment. And that big balloon payment is where you're going to pay capital gains tax, and these smaller ones you'll pay regular income tax. Well, let's just say, for example, you don't touch that money for 5 years. In those 5 years, you didn't pay tax. In those 5 years, your nest egg has grown.
Okay.
And so the idea of a structured sale is that when I sell, for example, I sell my primary residence. Well, let's say I bought the primary residence in Alamo, and I bought the primary residence in 1990. And I bought the primary residence for $400,000. And now that primary residence is being sold for $1.5 million. And I know that when I sell this property, only $500,000 of that is tax-free.
Because if you're a couple.
If you're a couple.
250 if you're single, 500 if you're a couple.
Absolutely. So, I am married. So, if my wife, thank you very much. If my wife and I were to sell the Alamo property using this example, then our purchase price was $400,000, our sales price is $1.5 million. Let's say the gain is $1.1 million.
Okay.
$500,000 is tax free. The other $600,000 I'm going to pay tax on. Well, we could put that money into the structured sale. We don't touch that money for another 10 years. That $600,000 is turned into.
Why 10? Why 10?
Right?
Why 10 years though?
It's whatever we feel comfortable with. Because I know in 10 years my children are going to go to high school, and we're going to need a lot of money in 10 years.
So it could be
1
year,
50
years,
5 years,
whatever you
10
want,
years,
right?
whatever we want. So let's just say that we wait 10 years to touch that money. That $600,000 is now turned into $1 million, hypothetically. And we take that money out for the remainder of our lives. The idea is we preserved all the equity and let it grow. So in anything over the exclusion amount, I could put that money into a structured sale. For anything in an exchange, the biggest problem with an exchange is finding properties and closing properties. When I can't find or close on these properties, that money, I don't touch it because it's in the exchange. I could redirect it to go into a structured sale and determine when I'm going to start taking it out. But the idea is I don't give that money up front to the state or to the government.
So what I'm understanding, what you're saying about a structured sale is this. You can use it for your personal residence.
Anything over the exclusion dollar amount can go into
the 500 of equity.
Of equity
Okay.
can go into a structured sale. As a fallback to a 1031 exchange, if I can't close on what I identify, or if I can't identify in a second home. When you sell a second home, all you qualify for, if it's truly a second home, is to pay tax. That money could go into a structured sale.
So a second home is my Tahoe house that I use once a year.
Right. Well, it depends. If you use it 14 days or less for personal use, and you rent it out 2 weeks out of the year, that will actually be an investment property. But if you use that property, let's say 20 days out of the year, it's only a second home. There are certain rules and guidelines on the second home. If it is only a second home and you sell that property, you're subject to tax. If you don't touch that money and it goes into the structured sale, you don't pay tax until you start getting money. So you can use it for the second home. They'll fall back to a 1031 exchange. The primary resident amount that exceeds the exclusion dollar amount, as well as, in our fourth and final way, business. When you sell a business, you have a real property portion of the business, you have a personal property portion of the business, and then you have goodwill and inventory.
So your name list, your contacts.
Right. And maybe the franchise name. Maybe when you bought it, it wasn't worth that much, and now it's worth a tremendous amount of money. Well, the real property, you could do a real property 1031 exchange. The personal property, you could do a personal property 1031 exchange. The goodwill and inventory, you can pay tax.
Wait a minute, you can do a personal property 1031 exchange?
Yes, you can.
So my piece of paper, this folder here, these are all going to be our personal property tax.
If they have a value that appreciated, like a Ferrari, you could buy a Ferrari when you sell it, or a nice car, a luxury car. Every asset has its own asset class, and you could buy asset classes. So personal property exchange, real property exchange, goodwill and inventory can only be subject to tax, but you could put that into a structured sale.
Guys, we got to go. I appreciate your time. James, please give me your best contact number, because I know that I still have some questions on this, and I know you out there watching this are going to as well. So James, how did they get a hold of you?
Call me at 415-640-0794.
Guys, as always, Greg McDaniel with the McDaniel Callahan Real Estate Team. Call us anytime. We can help you with any type of real estate sale anywhere in the state of California. Our best number is area code 925-855-4186 is my direct line. And to reach our entire team in case I'm not available is 925-838-4300. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you on the next installment.